Nightmare on Elm Street. It opens up as any Nightmare on Elm Street would, with Freddy going after a teenager in their sleep. Scream. You'll make my day. And night. Frankenstein and Ash are trying to keep a low profile somewhere, still trying to track down the Necronomicon that was stolen in The Evil Dead. They read and hear about a string of unsolvable murders in a nearby town, and they decide to head over and investigate. Unbeknownst to them, the Holy Cadre also reads about this and is sending someone over as well. The person sent from the organization and Frankenstein with Ash arrive at the library/Hall of Records to find any information they can, just missing each other until the very end, when the investigator notices Frank through the bookshelf under his hood/hat, or whatever he's using to hide his identity. He reports them to headquarters. They, in turn, tell him to follow them. Frankenstein and Ash investigate the crime scene as secretly as possible. At night, they find no footprints or any sign of entry. They do manage to lift a single partial fingerprint from the scene. On their way out, they are intercepted by the police, and they spend the night in jail. Rachel Keller is outside watching their investigation. That night, Freddy targets Ash, but he is able to fend him off to some extent, since he is now a badass. But Freddy keeps getting the upper hand since he has those supernatural powers from the Hellraiser film. Freddy is able to give Ash a good cut down his arm before he is woken by Frank the next morning. The shirt is untouched, but his arm is slowly spewing blood. He calls a guard who deals with the cut. Both of them are taken in to be interrogated individually. First Ash, then Frank. The person from the Holy Cadre comes in for further investigation of Frank, to which he deflects most of the questions. Finding nothing wrong, they are let go by the police, but still followed by the person who confronts them in a diner. Let's talk man to man. Man to man is what you're trying to say. Oh, well, we both know that's not true. Well, what defines a man? After convincing the agent that they are on the same side, relatively, they offer any services that they can, at which they hand over the fingerprint they found at the site to see if they can come up with any leads. While the fingerprint is being sent and analyzed, Freddy strikes again. This time it's the daughter of the police chief who gets killed. Due to this, the chief is suspicious of Frankenstein and Ash, since they were intruding on the last crime scene. This puts a time crunch on the three as they need to deal with this issue before it gets worse, and they all get arrested and tried for the murders. They get the fingerprint analysis back, revealing it to be the agent from the Hellraiser film. Putting this together with what they already know, they figure they have to fight him in the dreamscape, as Ash puts it. And Ash is the first to go. He gets kicked around, worse than last time, and he is dragged out by the man from the organization. Ash ends up having Freddy's hat. Ash went in first because he wanted to prove himself, but we saw how well that went. Seeing this, Frankenstein goes in. He has a fight with Freddy, who is able to stab him in the shoulder. Grabbing hold of Freddy's arm, he wakes up, bringing him into the real world. Missed. He throws him across the room. The man from the organization holds a gun at Freddy, who runs off into the halls of the hotel they are staying in. In classic stalker fashion, they chase him down and into the basement/attic, where they split up to find him. Freddy jumps Ash, and they brawl, claw to pipe. While they are locked in a stalemate, Frank walks up from behind and throttles Freddy, making him lose his glove, and he starts to dissipate. He starts yelling and screaming that he can't go back, and that he can't go back. The agent rounds the corner just as the last of Freddy disappears. the Holy Cadre show up to deal with covering up the events. Frankenstein and Ash are offered jobs at the agency, to which they agree. Just till they find the Necronomicon, at least. It ends with Rachel blogging about the supernatural going-ons. After the credits, they are given their first case in the office of Dr. Van Helsing. They are given a file containing a packet with the name Proposition Number 929, presented by Dr. Henry Jekyll.